Hey everybody, BK Adams here again. So today I want to make another character, and this time I'm going to do something a little different. I want this character to either be a stranger, an anachronism, or an alien. So 3 possible choices. I will randomly roll that. I'll bring my roller over here. I'm going to roll a die 6 and split it by 2. So I roll a 6, so that becomes a 3, so that becomes an alien. So if we look at what alien says on the place of birth chart, characters from another world in the Mighty Protectors multiverse roll on the other worlds table. So let's scroll down to the other worlds table. There's time periods, other worlds. Here we go. Alright, so this is a D100 roll. Let me bring the roller back. A 97. Let's see. Other. Well, I don't really want to create a whole other thing. I want this to be something that's already created. So let me roll again. 5. So 5 is going to be the core. This is a region at the center of our galaxy, the scene of a vast interstellar conflict known as the Core Wars, which rages between the forces of the cosmic being known as Cosmos and the forces of the Void. It has gone on and will continue for an eternity. Roll D100 for species. 01 to 20 is human. 21 to 70 is alien. 71 to 100 is tech construct. And then you roll for culture as well. So let's bring back the roller, and let's make the roller a little smaller so it doesn't take up as much space. So here's our roll on the other world, on the core. So a 20. So that's actually human. Now let's roll for culture. 49. That is going to be high tech. Okay. So, so a human from the core with a high tech background. So now we can skip. Let's see. Yeah, species would ordinarily be next, but we already know it's human because we rolled on the at a different birthplace. So let's go to our next part, which is going to be culture. We've already done that. That's going to be high tech. And now we can do gender. Let's bring up the roller. So 13. So it's a woman with a gender expression same as gender identity. 90 for biological sex, so cisgender. And then lastly 63 is straight. So basically a straight cisgender woman. Okay, next up, I guess I skipped age, so let's do age real quickly. So that's 2 die 10 plus 10 is the standard. So 16, so a teenager. Okay, and then we'll do basic characteristics. So next up we have basic characteristics, so I'll go ahead and roll those. It's a die 10 5 times. So let me reset the roller. So our first roll is an 8. So that is going to be cool. Cool is the first stat. Then 2 is strength. So cool strength. Then endurance. Then agility, and then intelligence. Okay. So I've done stats. So next up I'm going to do weight and mass. I'm just going to pick from off the chart. So a teen female, average teen female, 100 pounds. So I'll go ahead and put that down. Okay, I've already filled in the stats and the other things. So next up we've got background. So here I've got to roll 3 times and pick 2 of them. So I'll go ahead and do that. So let's see. We get 99, 98, and 70. So 99, 98, and 70. So hunting and survival, I rolled that twice. And let's see, what was the other one? 70. That is religion. So religion, mysticism, and then hunting and survival. Okay, those are kind of interesting. So I will go ahead and put that down. So next up we have motivation. I'll go ahead and roll that. It's a D100. I get 100. So looking at the superhero version of that, that is justice. You're motivated solely by belief that wrongdoers must face full weight of the law. Let's see, luck is going to be a D4, or wealth is going to be D4, luck is going to be a 10 or less. And now we have origin type, so let's go ahead and roll that. And I get a 62, which is science project. Okay. So now I'm going to roll the character's offensive abilities, and it's a D100 twice. So I get 10, which is devitalization ray, 10 again, so I'm going to re-roll that, and 98, which is weakness detection. So let's go ahead and put those down. Next up we have defensive abilities, so let's see, that's going to be D100 again, so 46, which is height and agility, and 73, which is light control. Next up, we're going to roll for miscellaneous, and let's see, let's get a 78, which is summoning, and 19, which is duplication. Next up, we have our weaknesses, so I need to roll twice for that. I get a 57, which is reduced agility. Well, that makes no sense because one of her powers is heightened agility. So let's re-roll that. So 9 is distinctive. Roll again, 22, nemesis. So next up, I need to pick 4 out of these 6 abilities that are core. So I'm going to say heightened agility is core. I'm going to say light control is core. I'm going to say summoning is core. And I'm going to say weakness detection is core. And then let's see, distinctive, nemesis, those both sound perfectly fine. So I will put some points into these non-core abilities. So duplication, I think I'll give that 15 points for the nemesis, and devitalization ray, I'll give that 5 for the distinctive. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and adjust the stats just a little bit. I'll lower her strength from a 16 to a 15 and increase her endurance from a 14 to a 15. So everything's filled out. It equals 150 points. The rest of this stuff, filling out exactly what the abilities do and whatever modifiers they have, I will do that next. So I've gone ahead and filled out her character sheet and filled out all of her abilities, and starting with devitalization ray, I built it. I gave her 2die8, which is a base of -5. I gave it a different range basic characteristic, which is a modifier that you can give. You can change what the range is based on. So normally devitalization is endurance times 2. Well, I wanted all of her abilities based on agility, so I changed that to agility. That was plus 2.5, so she has a 64-inch range. Give it a 5-inch area effect, and it has a PR cost of 3. And then now for weakness detection, you can have a bonus to hit, or you can add damage, and I did a little of both. So I made it a plus 2 to hit for 5 CPs, plus 1 damage for 2.5. And normally weakness detection, you have to be within 1 inch range of your subject. You have to be able to perceive them with a 4 analytical sense, and that takes a whole action. And so what I did is I modified both of those. I wanted it to work at her agility times 2 in range, and also just to take 1 inch of movement to use it. So her 20 CPs get split up in that way. And so here's the range. So normally weakness detection starts at 1 inch, and so for every step up on this chart, it's an additional plus 2.5 CP. So I wanted it all the way up to BC times 2. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 steps above 1 inch. So that is a plus 10. And then similarly, easy for me to say. So actually, yeah, I was wrong. It doesn't take 1 full round to use weakness detection. It takes an action. So making that 1 inch of movement costs plus 2.5, and that's what I did. So that's weakness detection. Height and agility is straightforward. She just gets plus 20 on that. Light control, basically I didn't change anything there. It's just straight up 2d10 energy damage, plus if she takes a -6 to hit, she can try and dazzle somebody. And then on summoning, I made it a drone. So for this character, I decided just all of her superpowers are based on a nanite technology. Her body is riddled with nanites, and so she can use those nanites to do things, and one of those things is summoning. she can create this drone, which I've created on a separate sheet. And so basically I'm using summoning for that. And normally summoning takes 5 minutes. Well, I've reduced that to a 1 inch of movement, which is a big modifier that costs plus 15 points. I'm just saying it will last for 10 hours, and it costs her 2 power to activate it and 2 power per hour to maintain control. And then lastly, duplication. Her nanites, she can spend some power and basically create a duplicate of herself. And then let's see, her stats are basically the way I rolled them, and everything's statted out. So that's that. So I came up with a name, Starflare, which kind of mediocre. I might change it later if I can think of something. Gave her a name, Star-Lux. So this is my hero that I'm going to use in an upcoming fight. Now, one of her weaknesses is a nemesis, which are servants of the void. So as a warrior or a soldier in the core wars, she's a soldier for Cosmos, which is the good guy side. So the enemies, the Cosmos, are called the void. So she's got servants of the void, which are basically, super villains. They're just as powerful as her, and they come after her fairly often.